Welcome back to Boy Band Break, where we encourage you to take a break from your busy days and indulge in some boy band me time. As always, my name is Diane.
I'm Chinzia.
And I'm Sophia.
And I'm Lydia, a.k.a. Mama Lou.
Woohoo.
All right, we have a birthday coming up on April 2nd. Daniel CV from Why Don't We?
Woo! Happy birthday. How old are you, Daniel?
He'll be 20 years old.
20. And they are on tour this summer.
None of those boys look like they're 20. No offense.
Oh, yeah, they're the really young looking one, right?
Yes.
But very cute. Very
Mama
cute.
Lou approved.
Oh, Lydia.
All right. So, our topic for this week is boy band collaborations. So,
nice. Good. Okay.
This was inspired by, or at least he gave me the idea. So Joey did an interview.
Yes.
Where Joey Fatone, not
From
McIntyre, from NSYNC, and he said a couple of things. He said, number one, that there might be an NSYNC reunion in the future, like it's not completely ruled out, which is crazy because I really hope that happens.
Yes.
Especially for all the NSYNC fans.
Hell yeah. Woo.
And I really thought it was interesting that, like, I feel like up until now, everybody was like, yeah, it's not happening. But now it's kind of like they don't say it's not happening. They're just like, oh, it can't happen right now.
Is it because of the failure of Men of the Woods?
I really think
Possible.
It might be. Like, I feel like maybe Justin Timberlake's at a place where he's like, maybe it's not such a bad idea right now.
I have to agree. Yes.
So if you listen to our last episode, speaking of, us putting things out into the world and making them real, hey, Justin, it's a good idea. You should
Very
do it.
good.
It's a good idea.
Or you can get together without him. It's fine.
Or, yes, you should just, whatever.
Because I have an idea in my head of a band.
Anyways, the second thing that Joey said
Never mind. Okay.
was that they would be into doing a collaboration with Backstreet Boys.
Oh,
That could be fun.
Well, okay, who wouldn't be really?
But who wouldn't?
true.
Right.
They're on top of the horse right now.
Yes. And then it was
Is that a saying?
On top of the mountain, a better saying, not
On
a horse.
top of the world is a word.
I don't even think
Hog,
world
hog,
is
hog. On top of the hog, right?
hog.
Why are you on a hog? Okay,
Well,
back
that means
to
you're doing really well.
Why would you be? But hogs are in shit, in a mud.
It's a saying. I didn't make them up.
The real expression is like they're the top of the heap
Okay, that
in the like pile of boy bands.
Ooh,
BSB
a pile
or
of boy bands.
I approve of this too.
Anyways, then it was kind of amusing because then apparently like TMZ got Brian literal from the Backstreet Boys.
Brian is the best.
And he was like, yeah, that's not happening. But
Was that like in a parking lot? Like, where'd they find him?
At the
It's
airport.
airport. He's always at the
They
airport.
always find him at the airport.
him and AJ are always at the airport. And they'll always talk to TMZ.
Essentially, Brian said that
he
they
didn't
need.
say no.
He didn't say no. He said essentially
didn't
they
say
need
yes either.
them more than the Backstreet Boys need NSYNC.
Yeah.
And
Truth.
without just
He said they wouldn't do it unless Justin came back, which I feel like is Brian trying to be like, Justin will never come back, so it will never happen.
That is
But-
correct.
I also was really funny because I just that day in my Facebook memories, it was the memory of Joey Fatone going to the Backstreet Boy concert in Vegas and getting pulled up on stage
Yes.
by AJ, and then he's like carrying AJ, and then he kisses Nick at one point.
Yes, I do
But it's just
remember
very funny because all the other four of them are around him, and Brian is singing off to the side, and then eventually Brian gives Joey like a flower or whatever. But it was just like it was.
Shade.
I feel like if
hates
they would have
NSYNC.
asked another member of the Backstreet Boys, they would have been.
Yeah.
But I think it would be a really good tour because of the whole like old school rivalry.
Well, that's
type.
what I was going to ask.
Yes.
So let's just say they do a collab. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but at some point.
Because the Backstreet Boys are booked up for the next year
And
year and a half, maybe
2 years. But let's just say in 2021 or 2022, when Backstreet Boys are done with all this DNA thing, and Justin's like, okay, you know what? My career is kind of taking a nosedive.
Yeah.
I need to pull this plane back up into the air. And
maybe he needs just to do some therapy with the rest of the band.
Maybe.
And I feel like I would watch those
Oh my
sessions.
God, yes.
Yes.
Documentary?
Yes,
Do
that would
it.
be great.
Yes.
Anyways, do you think a BSB NSYNC collab would be a good idea?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 100%. Yeah.
I feel like there are still some of the group, like the fandoms, that still hate each other and still have that old rivalry.
Yeah.
But for the most part, most of us are like, woo, bring it on.
Yeah.
It was all orchestrated by Lou. It was a marketing ploy that brilliantly went off.
Okay,
Like
but I also think it would be a good idea, but just to play devil's advocate for a second.
We're not going to get tickets because
No, not about that. Oh my
Screw
God.
you, Ticketmaster.
Please don't even bring that up. Anyways, two things that just like I was thinking about when thinking about the possibility of this potentially happening. Number one, yes, fan animosity. When Backstreet Boys did the thing with New Kids, when they did the NKOTBSB thing, there were definitely fans who were not happy about it.
yeah, there was definitely some
And
pushback.
New Kids and Backstreet Boys didn't even have a rivalry.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
in the past.
a time difference.
yeah, there's like
age
about a
gap.
10-year age gap between them. So
But people were pissed.
Why though?
And there was even like in the first few shows, like people got over it eventually, but in the first few shows of that NKOTBSB tour, there were like brawls in the audience.
What?
really,
Yeah. Like not like, but pulling hair, white girl cat fights. You know what I mean? Like,
interesting.
To be fair, I kind of get it because when I went, I purposely sat down for some from New Kids.
Yes, I'm
And
just
then-
looking at Sophia right
Yeah,
now.
and then like I think I went like again, and I was like, oh, okay, they're actually good, and there's like nothing to fight about. Okay, I was just gonna enjoy the whole concert. But yeah, like I felt like I had to be respectful to Backstreet Boys and sit, which was weird.
yeah.
So Sophia and I went to like 5 to 7 shows ish.
I went to 8.
Okay, I think I went to 5 or 6. But like at the beginning, Sophia's like, "Oh, New Kids, sit
To
down."
be fair, I sat down at slow songs.
Okay,
'cause
they
I
did
could
have
not-
a very
yeah,
slow
It was
section.
just like excruciating kind of.
But then by the last show,
I
she's
sat
up
up for
there
the whole
like
time.
dancing along and going for it.
So it does take time, but I did get into it.
And I will say I only went to 2 shows, and one show I was sitting in seats where like nobody was standing up. But
I hate that.
the one it was
awkward.
fine. I was fine with it. But the one show I was like on the floors, you know, I was in the front row near the edge of that like long
The penis stage.
thing.
Yes.
Draft.
And so the guy had said to me, the guy being the security person on the floor, was like, listen, he's like, I'm just going to warn you right now. He's like, Nick Carter's going to walk by here and Jordan Knight's going to walk by here.
You're like, yes, please.
So we were like, yes, please. When Nick comes, we're ready. Anyways, I wasn't so excited about Jordan. Jordan came first, though. So Jordan actually walked by us first, like came from the crowd and walked by. I think actually, no. New Kids came from the stage and then walked into the crowd. And then Backstreet Boys came from the crowd and walked up to the stage.
Yes.
Either way, when Jordan came by, because he came by first, all the New Kids fans were like very aggressively trying to push us out of the way. And I was kind of like, I don't really care to see Jordan, so I kind of just let them go, and then maybe that made them less aggressive. But I was definitely getting like elbows to the back, and I was like, these friggin' blockheads need to chill out. Like, oh my God, they're so rude, they're so aggressive, blah, blah, blah. Then Nick walked by and I felt like I was gonna die. Like people were like launching their bodies and I was like, oh my God, someone help me.
sounds
So
about
then I
right.
was like, maybe I don't need to be so salty about the New Kids fans.
I got a kiss from Howie at,
You did.
I did.
And
He
I
was-
got a handshake.
and yes, who was it? Was it Howie and AJ?
Howie and AJ
So
side.
Sophia was focusing on AJ. Howie, I had a Howie sign. He came down. We were in the second row of this area, and he came by, winked, did the handshake thing, and then the kiss on the cheek. And I was like, all right, thank you very much, Howie.
Anyways.
Howito.
The point
good
is,
show.
there was definitely
show.
some issues,
Yes.
especially leading up to the tour
Yes, there
between
were-
the fandoms. So
Like when they announced it, there was like the camp of, yeah, this is amazing. To the other camp, like, I refuse to get tickets. This is terrible. and then they still end up going.
But I
most
feel
of
like
them.
by the end, everyone was like
Yeah.
enjoying
In
it,
harmony.
and so I feel like it could work.
So, yeah, but that was New Kids and Backstreet Boys who had no prior beef,
Yes.
right? Considering that in the late 90s, Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC was like Bloods versus Crips.
Yes, it was. Yes.
That hostility would be heightened between people who weren't so into the collaboration, right?
Yeah,
So
that
there
was
could be
tough.
some issues there.
So here's my other thought about this. As much as I hate to admit this, it's that if NSYNC with you know who decide to get back together, they
Lord Voldemort.
they don't need that would actually be very entertaining. So if Justin decided, hey, I'm joining back in the group, they don't need to do a collaboration. They would sell out immediately for NSYNC because the NSYNC fans are rabid and crazy.
Yes.
And because that's happening. If Justin doesn't come back and it's just the four of them, then I can see that a collaboration would be better. And if Backstreet doesn't want to do it, I can picture O-Town and NSYNC doing like a good, because the ends connect. Because it could be like an O-Town sync.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. So
you,
that was the
buddy.
collaboration I thought of.
Took a lot of thought and effort.
Yes,
Good job.
but yeah, no, I think honestly, if just as much as I would love to see the two bands together, if NSYNC decide they're going to get back together, even if just that pop-up shop in LA was any indication, or the new merch that's been coming out and stuff, and people are still buying it like rabid crazy
It's annoying
people.
if you're not in a band and you can still sell merch.
Oh, that bothers me so much.
Like,
I refuse
come
to
on,
spend
man.
any money on that. But I think that if they were to come back because of Justin's hype and all that jazz, I think they would sell out no problem. And they wouldn't need to do a collaboration.
The other thing that I just sort of thought of, and I don't mean this to be like whatever, we just talked about how Brian is like not such an NSYNC fan. Like they do say, oh no, we're all cool, I love these people, blah blah blah, but you can tell that Brian's like not really into the idea. And I think that some of the members of NSYNC wouldn't be so into the idea either.
See,
Not trying to call anyone out,
I
but
feel like
who do you think wouldn't be into it?
Lance.
Really?
Because I feel like Lance is, and this is just my opinion based on
Okay.
things that he says, I feel like Lance is still kind of living in that NSYNC was better than Backstreet Boys time, and he has a really hard time accepting that Backstreet Boys are widely considered to be a better band than them, and he's like annoyed by it.
But
Well,
he has
and-
said nice things about them, so
I don't know.
But he's also said some not nice
So
things.
I think that
true.
so Chris and Joey obviously get along
Chris and Joey
really
would totally be
well
into
with, like, because they do the con circuit a lot, so they do see like AJ and Nick and all that stuff. So I feel like they're cool and they're all buddy.
they
But
were in a movie
Lance
together.
has done a lot of hosting gigs with the Pop 2K tour, so he's done stuff with O-Town and stuff.
but
But
these
yeah,
are all with people who
are
less
less
popular than him.
band. Okay.
Yes.
He doesn't do
Interesting.
collabs with New Kids.
The big
he doesn't
fish
do
in the small pond.
Yeah,
Lance was just in the New Kids video.
okay, fine, but
I don't know. I feel like Lance. Yeah, I don't know.
I
JC
just feel like Lance is still a little salty.
Well, probably if you were in the biggest boy band, one of the biggest boy bands in the world, and now you're not.
And he's still, but
he shouldn't
but it's
blame
not even
BSB.
that.
Blame Justin.
Yeah, well, he probably maybe he does, but I
Yes,
feel
because
like
he also
what
didn't get
his
to go to
thing
outer
is-
space. I've not mentioned that in a while.
That's true. It's true. He had to get an operation done.
But his thing is,
learned
Russian.
he's still like, oh, NSYNC is the biggest boy band in the world, and everybody's like, no, they're not, Lance. Like,
Well, and in NSYNC's defense, they did sell 1.1 million albums in a single day.
hey,
Do you want us to?
should I bring up the stats of all time records sold, or no?
I believe it is 130 million records
And
sold.
that doesn't even include DNA.
And
Exactly.
I'd also like to point out that NSYNC's Christmas album sold a lot better than Backstreet's. Oh, wait, they
Backstreet
did.
doesn't have one.
Oh, there you
So
go.
you can't. That's apples and
I
oranges.
know, so in your face.
I don't know why I'm on NSYNC's side right now.
I have a feeling. Okay, you remember how like Lou put them each band up in like a house? So
Yeah.
like maybe like Backstreet Boys got like first dibs on like ice
course
cream
they got first
sandwiches,
dibs.
and Lance is just like, how come I never get it? Good. So there could be that.
Do you think Lance ever had a crush on any of the guys? In the
Oh
other
my
band?
god.
No, they're like brothers.
No, the other band, not his
Other
own
boy
band.
bands, not members of NSYNC.
Well, was he gay at the time? Like I know
He was
think
been
he was
gay his
always
entire
gay.
No, but
life.
like when was he out?
Joey was one of the
2000?
first ones who knew he was gay because he ended up coming in to a room where he was making out with a boyfriend.
Ah,
Nice.
Yes, and
good indicator.
so here's the thing: Lance and Joey are besties, and they've been besties for like a really, really long time. So I think if Joey's cool with a collaboration, I think Lance would be cool with it as well.
like
So
Joey
he
could
just, like-
convince him.
Yeah,
I
talk
think-
Lance into
yeah.
it.
Yeah. I
All
think
right.
so.
Well, let's see what happens in the future.
let's put it out in the universe.
We're putting it out in the universe.
Nah, 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 nah.
Please do it.
We'd
Please
obviously
do
all
it.
be down. So let's
But
make it happen.
I think Chinzy is right. They would have to do like they'd have to do an NSYNC tour first, and then immediately.
And
after
then I
that,
think,
NSYNC.
what if? Okay, sorry. Building on your thing, what if like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC did like a thing together, just like a short run, sort of like what NKOTBSB did, and then that launched NSYNC into doing
Yeah, that's true. That would work.
Because if you are going to
And
take
then
time
for the NKOTBSB, Kevin wasn't in it, right? So there
Right.
was only 4 Backstreets there.
I guess that would be good to get your feet wet again because like,
Yeah.
it's hard to go on a full fledged like balls to the wall tour if you haven't even done that in like years. So like at least like they can take like breaks while like Backstreet's doing stuff.
That's true because no offense, some of them are a little out of shape. But,
Chris.
what?
yes,
He was out of shape when he was in the band, so whatever.
Oh,
But I'm just saying that if we have the 4 members of NSYNC and Backstreet do a thing, and then they're like, oh, we really like being on tour. Justin's like, oh, this tour is super successful. Maybe I should be relaunched with NSYNC, and then they can go off do their
And
own
he can
thing.
do a bit of solo stuff
yeah.
while everyone's taking
I'm sure
a
the
drink in the
NSYNC
back.
fans would be down for Justin to do a bit of solo stuff.
Does he still do
He
that
used to do-
bebop? Oh, Jesus. That was the
Everybody but Chinzy.
boringest
Yeah.
part of the concert.
Sorry, Justin fans. Okay, so moving along from there, let's talk about other boy band collabs. So we did talk a lot about NKOTBSB.
Yes.
We were
Don't
obviously
turn out the lights now.
Oh, yes.
fans of it. I
was
thought
such a
that
great-
was really
so
good.
good.
I was probably in the camp of like, is this gonna work in the beginning? But in the end, it turned out well.
Mm-hmm.
Building on just since we're already talking about Backstreet Boys, they also did a collab with Florida Georgia Line.
Yes.
Yes.
The song "God, Your Mama and Me."
Yes, I remember.
Lydia's not a fan.
Lydia's not a fan of anything country related.
No, I can't do it, man. I don't know. I just can't.
I liked that song.
I did too. I thought it was a nice
And-
message.
Diane and I were so close to finding the music video shoot.
Oh my god, guys!
We were in Florida.
when they were recording the video in Florida, and we were like, "Oh my god, it's somewhere in this area," but we obviously didn't know the very specific area, and we're like, we can't just wander around like being like Nick.
In the future, if anybody has inside information on anything and wants to message us and let us know, we will investigate for you. Yes.
Yes. Anyways, I feel like that was a great collab for BSB.
I also agree on
That
Yes.
really launched them into like another level of popularity that they were looking to get. And so even if you don't like Florida Georgia Line, which isolated from BSB, I'm not such a fan.
They have a couple of
you.
good songs.
Yeah.
The
They
BB
have
Rexa
some good
one's pretty good.
And yeah, the Nelly one is good. When they
Yes.
collab with other people, it's fine. That I said
That was
well,
a good. Those were
Holy
good
is a
concert.
good song. Holy,
Yes, it is.
right? Is that
We went to that
it's
concert.
fine. Yeah,
Nelly.
that
Wait,
Florida
Holy is
Georgia
with
line
Nelly?
part was real good.
Okay, that was a
Holy
little
is a different
long,
song.
but
It wasn't even long, guys. I've talked about this off.
they're
podcasts.
kind of boring in performance wise.
Yeah. They're not.
Yeah, they're not.
but they're
they
a
don't have
country
presence.
group. They're
Maybe-
not a. They don't have elaborate stage presence.
Maybe
they don't
I'm
have a
not
presence.
used to country concerts,
They're
but
not.
I
as-
was like, why is this so boring?
The other
And I
part
really
is we didn't know
tried.
a lot of their songs, so that's
I
why
just
it
tried
made
to
it boring.
pretend like I knew what the
And-
songs were.
Listen, okay, I've been to a lot of concerts, and some not always boy band concerts. And this was the only concert I've ever been to where like in between the like sets, so like sing a couple songs, take a break, sing a couple songs, like in those little break times, all the lights on the stage would go off, all the sound would be cut, and it would just be dead blackness for like a minute while they like rejig, and then they'd come back. Like, nothing to keep your crowd entertained.
Yeah, that is true. That did happen.
Yeah.
I was like,
we were kind of
literally they sang like
have
3
a DJ,
songs,
put a couple of songs.
and then the whole lights go out, and we're like, is it over?
and it's
like,
not like
why?
they even changed outfits or anything, did they?
No.
Maybe
I don't know what
Maybe
they did with
went
the
back
lights
to get a
off.
glass of water and then come back.
They were
I don't know.
Water,
They
yeah.
were promoting their
Ice cream
whiskey. They had their whiskey going on, I guess.
But, like, I'm like, are they making out? Like, why are all the lights off? Like,
Odd, very odd.
Yeah.
very odd. Like,
yeah, because there wasn't really any video in the background or anything.
like nothing.
Because that, obviously, if you go to a good boy band concert, like while they're changing costumes or something, there's like either a funny
but, like, if you
video
go
or
to
something.
Good any concert.
Yeah, there's usually something happening.
There's usually like I've
like,
seen
dimmed music.
I've seen Bruno Mars lately. I went to Rihanna.
Oh.
When they're changing their outfits or when they're just like taking a little break, the band's playing or there's something happening on the video screen. It's not just blackness.
Ew.
Like it
Or
was
like, is
so
this over?
weird.
Is it still happening? Like, what's going on?
You kill the mood that you just built
Yeah.
up.
And as a result, drunk people are like realizing they have to take a piss, so they leave, and then when they come back, they miss part of the concert because you made them leave. Essentially, like they thought they had an opportunity to leave because nothing was happening.
Very
So,
good point.
Granted,
Really gone off.
again, very off topic, but I did think that was a good collab for BSB.
Yes, it helped them out a lot.
Yeah. So that was good. And then there's another collab that keeps being brought up but doesn't seem to actually ever going to be happening, which is the Backstreet Spice Girls.
Oh, I was gonna
Oh
say.
my God.
Yes.
I refuse to listen to another article or reading, like, stop doing this. Until there is actual tour dates and tickets for sale, stop mentioning this.
It's Posh. She's the one who's put the brakes on.
Well, I feel like Backstreet was really on board for a while, and it was the Spice Girls who weren't because they couldn't get their shit together.
yes.
But now I feel like Backstreet wouldn't even want to do it anymore because they're busy with other stuff.
Snooze, you lose, man.
Exactly.
Although, like, Nick and Emma, I feel like when they were both hosting mentoring on
Boy band?
Boy Band, that's why I feel like the rumors kind of had
Boy band,
come back
not boy
again.
band break.
It's boy band.
Yes.
That's our podcast. Okay.
So, yeah, so who knows? Did the Spice Girls already do their shows?
They did a bunch of shows, or they were
In the
supposed
UK.
to, in the UK. I don't know if they happened yet or not.
think
They
they've
sold
happened
out
yet.
really quickly. I remember that.
Yeah.
So the tickets definitely already went on sale.
Like, nostalgia factor is in everyone's favor right now, so.
I don't know. Do you think they should do it eventually?
I would go see it.
Yeah.
I like Spice Girls.
Eventually they
I just
should.
don't know how it would flow, like the boy band and the girl group.
Yeah,
like,
you'd have like a mix of like definitely, I mean, boys, girls, and gays. Everyone would kind of be there.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I just feel like the flow of the actual concert itself. Because, like, with the NKO TBSB, it was like the boys and another. Well, no, I guess it
They
would be
could
the
do it
same.
exactly the same.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I don't know.
Not like they need a different stage setup or anything. So, like,
I think the stairs from like the "If You Want to Be My Lover" that would be perfect because everyone could like get on a step and be like, "If you want to be my Backstreet's back on back." You're like,
yeah, that's good.
Okay, yeah.
I'd be on board.
Yeah.
Me
I
too.
would be too.
I'd pretty much be on board for any concert. I'm very.
So what about like
concerts.
any other collabs with specifically BSB that you'd like to see? They've also briefly at some of these award shows and stuff talked about BTS.
That would be epic.
That would be so cool.
I
Like,
just
would
feel
you
like
be
the
down
crowd
for
would be
that?
a bit weird in that one.
Yes.
That's the
not?
one that in my
'Cause
mind
how old
I
is
don't see-
BTS?
I don't know.
Like,
But
it
in
would be
my
like
mind,
a 10, 15-year
that's
age
what I'm
gap with
saying.
fans.
I don't see how that works because you're literally have children
And drinking
and
adults.
then like 30-plus-year-olds like.
And BTS right now are so huge, they keep selling things out, like, immediately. Like, I tried to buy tickets for the last concert, and it was just...
I feel like if that was going to happen, it would have to be kind of like a one-off thing. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to do this one huge
Giant stadium.
show. It's just like one time only. Or like maybe, you know how when they did it with Florida Georgia Line, they did like the stadium tour.
Yeah, they did like
and they
3
just did like 4 really huge shows, like at Fenway and then in Chicago.
We went to Fenway.
It was pretty cool being at Fenway.
They could do it like that, but I don't think a long extended tour would really work.
I think that if there was like a natural disaster that they would like, like fundraise for,
Yeah, I can
then
see
they
that.
could be like, guys, let's put our differences and ages aside. Let's make.
I
money
don't think
for
they have
blah,
any
blah, blah."
differences. I just think
I don't know.
they don't speak the same language.
Just age. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's put our
But
ages
if they
aside.
do like a relief concert, they don't do a full show. It's only like maybe like 3 or 4 songs.
yeah,
so that's
exactly.
kind of sucky.
Yeah. I would want a full concert.
Remember the mixtape festival?
Well, okay, so I was going to get into this.
Okay.
Sorry. It would have to be like a sexy natural disaster, like not like a
Are there
Not like the bubonic plague. Like what?
like not like something like super down, but just
How about
like
an
It's like a
anti-vaxxer?
sexy disaster.
like a
Like
rainstorm.
fire, because then like your clothes burn off in a
So
fire,
is a
or
tsunami
like
too much?
Just way too much, just too depressing. Maybe like a poisonous fog in like a forest. I think that would.
is this like the Hunger Games? Is Katniss
had
going to
to
be
be-
like shooting people in the
I'm
audience?
just saying it has to be a sexy natural disaster. All right, moving on. To these points.
if you know what
How
a
is
sexy
a poisonous fog a sexy natural disaster?
if you can think of a sexy
Here's a
natural
People
disaster.
are not
here's a sexy
dying, apparently, and
disaster.
that's okay.
If the Weather Girls came and it started raining men,
Hallelujah.
there you go. There's your sexy disaster. Like
God, chaos everywhere.
I've always thought that was really gross because, like, if they're coming from a very
Body.
far
Oh my
distance, the
God.
bodies are just hitting the pavement, blood
Ew.
everywhere.
No, continue on with your.
Wow.
That went
I'm
weird.
sorry, guys, that was like
That escalated very quickly.
way off topic.
Sexy natural.
What I was gonna say. So other boy bands have done collabs that are not BSB. So New Kids toured with Boyz II Men
Yes.
and with Paul Abdul.
98 degrees.
98
How did
Degrees.
that go?
Now
Pretty
they're
good.
touring
You went.
with
It was
I
obviously.
did.
Yes, you did.
Not one, but my parent from work got me free tickets, and then I took you when Chinzia went with Olivia or whatever. Or was it Gina?
I don't know. Probably
Did we go late? I don't remember.
Yes.
I don't remember Boyz II Men. Do we miss Boyz II Men?
It
You
wasn't.
didn't
It
go-
wasn't.
it was
okay.
Boyz II Men.
It
was 90
wasn't
degrees.
like the.
Oh,
It wasn't like the NKO TBSB. It's just that these other guys opened for New Kids.
Oh,
So yeah, it wasn't like a specific collaboration.
Yeah. So it's not a. Yeah. Is it? It's difficult because does it count as a collab if they don't make a song together?
No,
You don't think so?
you have to make a song together.
that's true. Yeah.
So like,
So like the mixtape tour that is happening now,
yeah.
it has obviously New Kids on the Block, Tiffany, Debbie Gibson, Naughty by Nature.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Naughty by Nature, yep.
So they're obviously all going to just be opening for New Kids, but because
they
they did
did
the 80s baby
Make a song
song,
together.
Mm.
So
they'll
that
probably
one counts?
come out.
That does
That's
count.
probably going to be like the finale, and they're going to
Yeah,
come
yeah.
out and do it all together, right?
So that counts.
So yeah, I think if you have
But the
like
other ones
a
don't
song,
count?
so like kind of like the
If
Florida.
you open for someone, it's like you're doing a job.
But
you're
they're
not
touring
Well, like the
together.
Backstreet Boys, Florida Georgia Line, Nelly, and who was the other person? Somebody else.
Some country guy, Chris something.
Stapleton, maybe?
Sure.
I don't know.
That
Could have been
makes
somebody
sense.
else. No.
It was
Anyways,
a country man.
they had songs with Florida Georgia Line, and they performed those. So that was kind of
Yeah,
like,
so that
so they did
logically
their
made
own
sense.
set, and even though Florida Georgia Line was the headliner, they did come out for those other songs. So like
Oh.
the Nelly song.
and then at the very end, Florida Georgia Line sang their songs. Like the grand sort of finale wasn't. They did Backstreet's Back and Hot in
Yes.
Here. Everybody.
Yes,
I see.
it was good. It was good.
Anyways, but back to this. So, yeah. So all the stuff like O-Town toured with 98 Degrees on that.
So it's
Pop
the Pop 2K
2000 or-
Pop 2K tour. So it's O-Town 98 Degrees. Oh, was that
this is
the other
previous
one? Yeah, I think there was a girl group in there as well. Dream, I think.
Yeah.
We won't talk about that.
Yes,
No
but
comments.
98 Degrees and O-Town did. And then Aaron Carter is
Hooray.
currently on this version of the Pop 2K tour. That Ryan Cabrera guy.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Lance sometimes.
And then Lance
appears.
hosts some of them. So the one that I'm trying to make you guys all go to in Ohio, Lance will be there, and Aaron Carter with
And that
O-Town.
one is $5.
$5, guys. $5.
Okay,
Well,
fine.
that's
we'll
the one
go.
with Ottawa, isn't it?
No.
It's the Friday, and then we're going to drive to Ottawa to see
Oh,
the
okay.
Backstreet Boys. We can drop you off in Hamilton, Lydia.
Oh boy,
It's fine.
$5. What program?
This is again
It's a
way
fair.
off topic.
Yes.
But you're saying that these don't count as collabs.
It's not like a full. Yeah, it is a collab, but it's not like it was. Most of them is their bands are
What
opening
about
for
like
each
can we
other.
call it like a half collab and then a full collab? Because full collab is like you've integrated the musics.
Yes.
Yeah.
But regular, like I mean, like half collab is like.
Would you
we're
like
literally
to
in the
see
same-
any of these boy bands do like a true collab, like
100%,
song
yes.
collabs? Because they're aside from the NKOTBSB one, there haven't really been any true boy band collabs like where new music came out with all like both the bands. I don't know why I was slapping
Yes.
my
No,
hands
no,
together
yes.
like that.
I agree. Yes, collabs is great. Yes, it's like double. Like you get to borrow for each other's fans. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I really would like to see kind of like the original mixtape thing that like Eddie put together. Was that the one?
Yes.
Did Eddie put that
So
together?
Barbecue.
I don't know if he did. So it had like the Backstreet Boys and oh my
New
god,
Kids on the
New
Block.
Kids and like a bunch of other bands. And it was like a whole day festival. I think
remember.
Vanilla Ice was there. We
Yeah.
ended up not going because it was ridiculously expensive. It was like $750.
Yeah,
But I
they did the
regret not
barbecue
going.
thing.
I do
whatever,
regret.
yeah.
But then we got Nick at the CNE, so we were good. So
Anyways.
I would really like a boy band festival, boy band palooza. So if I ever win the lottery, that is what I would make, and then have all the bands together. Chinzapalooza.
Well, Chinzapalooza is a little different because she would probably put like Aqua and stuff in there.
I'd throw some Serial Joe in there.
5. You
Yes.
Serial Joe, man. I've been trying to get them back together for years. They keep ignoring
Yeah.
my messages.
For shame.
But those are not boy bands.
No. So boy band to palooza, I would be 100% on board for that. So if anybody would like to donate money to us, we can put that together.
Maybe we can do an entire episode where we plan it all out.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
In the future. Listen for that. Or drop us a comment and tell us whether you would like us to do that or not. Any boy band and not boy band collabs that you like, oh, this should definitely happen?
Yes, Backstreet Boys and Pitbull. Absolutely. I would love it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
I could see
That
that.
could work.
I feel like that would work.
That's a good idea.
We could throw Enrique in there as well.
Enrique.
Yes. Okay, Pitbull and Enrique do go on tour together.
Yes, I know.
So like that's like very like Latino. And
And
then
then
Howie.
Howito
Howito.
from the Backstreet Boys. Are we talking just Backstreet or just like
Any
band?
boy band
genre.
and any other artist that you were like, this collab needs to happen.
I have another one. Sorry.
Yeah, go.
Spice Girls and Cardi B. Whoa.
Oh, can you imagine?
That could be interesting.
Oh,
Oh my God, Cardi could totally replace Posh if she doesn't want to do it, or like,
no, she would overtake the whole show. That's the problem. Like because like her and Mel would be like, "Bitch, please," and then they'd be like getting into like a fist fight. So like I think they'd have to have their own separate and then come together for like one song and then like I think
that'd
that
be
would
cool. I like
I
that
feel
one.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think that would be good.
I feel like I would like to bring Together back and
Oh
do
my
something.
God.
Cutie is dead.
The other ones are Chad's not.
How
He's
many
a
is
little
left?
bit
There's
on
4 of them.
rehab.
So there's 4 left.
There's 4 remaining members because they are a traditional 5-member boy band.
But they're
yes.
not going to
Traditional, but not real.
Yes,
Fictional boy band.
they're only real in Chinzia's mind.
it's such a good show.
It
No.
was on MTV. Like
They
it
had
was
2 CDs, guys.
I know. I'm just joking.
we rode the thing, and I don't remember what song it was.
Okay. Anyways,
All right. That's
who
very
else
funny.
would you like to see? Well, I'm going to a nostalgia concert, a '90s nostalgia. That's great.
Performing.
Aqua,
So would you like to see
S
Aqua?
Club. S Club should do
S Club
something.
7. I like S Club 7.
Ooh, maybe S Club and 5 could be
Yeah, I
together.
was thinking the same thing.
That would be good.
They both have British accents.
Would
It
you like
totally
an
work.
Aqua boy band collab?
Sure, why not?
Which boy band? What would fit with Aqua? Come
5.
on.
5 would be good, I think.
Do we have any cartoony boy bands?
Oh, BTS?
Like cartoony.
Yeah, Aqua and BTS might work. What about Avril with something?
Prozac is
Avril
a
Lavigne.
cartoon.
She opened for...
Her and Nick did a collab. That was amazing.
That was a good song. I really like that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Get over me.
That is a good song.
Selfishly.
Nickelback. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes.
Selfish G.
Where did that come
I
out?
don't know.
Nickelback?
I'm going to say that Diane's going to say Bruno Mars.
Yes.
And
any boy band, because I feel like Bruno Mars is like close to that boy band wave. Like, oh my god, imagine Bruno Mars and Boyz II Men. They opened for him for a couple of shows, and like, imagine how good that would be.
what if Bruno Mars and Justin Timberlake?
Oh, that would be good too.
That'd be interesting.
That would be interesting.
Or it'd be like two egos battling on the dance floor.
Yeah, that's also valid. The dance floor.
But maybe Justin shouldn't do it, because if he gets popular with Bruno Mars, then he won't go on tour with NSYNC.
Which is fine,
That's true.
because
That's a
then
good point.
NSYNC can just come with O-Town. So we're good.
With O-Town.
NSYNC O-Town.
In Cinco Town?
No. Oh my god. O-Town Sync.
Amazing.
Cinco Town sounds fun. It sounds very like
Latino.
Mexican. They give out tacos and like
That would totally be fun.
be
Like a taco
delicious.
cannon. They shoot out into the crowd.
It's nearing lunchtime, people. That's why.
Nacho hats.
Nacho hats.
Yes.
Oh my god, that'd be perfect.
Okay, in Cinco Town, make it happen.
That's amazing.
Oh, good times.
Oh gosh. All right. Well,
So,
Unless you
anyways,
guys-
we're always open to collaborations and bands. Is essentially the
we
main-
like collabs.
100%.
We're for them,
Yes.
not against them.
the more the merrier.
If you are for collabs or against collabs, let us know. Hit us up on the social media. Drop us a comment. Let us know. We want to talk to you.
Listen to our episodes.
Like and subscribe.
Yes.
Anyone-
Direction.
O Direction.
Oh, Direction.
O-Town in One Direction.
And then
Whoever's
Jordan
remaining.
Knight
That
can make his
sounds like
O-face on
O-
stage.
O
O-face.
Direction sound.
Direction. Perfect. Mama Lou Cruz.
Mama Lou.
This is amazing.
Oh God. Anyway,
Mama approves of a lot of things.
Yeah, it's true. She does.
you guys got anything else?
No, we're good.
I think we're good.
All right. Thanks for taking a break with us, guys.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.